What's your name?
My name is Yvan Rodic.
How old are you?
I'm 29 years old.
What's your occupation?
My occupation is called Facehunter. I'm doing street style photography for a website and for magazines.
Where do you live?
I live in Paris.
How would you describe your favorite outfit?
My favorite outfit could be, for example, what I'm wearing today, like a kind of a remix of a 19th century Victorian look.
And how would you describe your style?
I would say, like I said before, it's like a remix of a 19th century gentleman.
What makes you happy?
I think I love taking risk and just like living just the comfort of something that is always the same.
And what's your biggest guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is eating 1 pound of chocolate a day. Not 1 pound, but a lot.
You can see.
Swiss chocolate?
Yeah, of course.
You should say that, Swiss chocolate.
I just eat Swiss chocolate.
And what's your biggest turn on?
Yeah, my biggest turn on is, I think, is traveling and not staying at the same place. I think it's like an obsession of not doing the same thing and going to discover and to find out new things, new people. That's my turn on.
And now, you mentioned a show that you thought was great. You've been.
Yeah, actually, I went to the Martin Magella show. I think it was my favorite one. It was very interesting to see this kind of futurist shapes and a new kind of boots, and I think I was impressed by this show.
And have you seen any emerging talents that we should be looking for in Paris or on
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, not in Paris. Maybe no. There's. I know one big talent, but it's not showed during the Fashion Week. It's called Andrea Cruz. It's like art and fashion label, and they're doing all kind of things like videos, fashion, and she's doing a great stuff. But she's not inside the shows. But I think she's at the rendezvous. I'm not sure.
Now, for followers of your blog, you've been in Sao Paulo, recently in New York. Can you tell us some of something that impressed you or that struck you or was amusing during that period?
Yeah, I think one funny story about Sao Paulo was that I had to give a speech during the Fashion Week at the Motorola Lounge, and I used some picture I took during the week to explain what my thoughts about the Brazilian style. And actually I was talking about the fact they were not using vintage in the outfit, and I used a picture of one of the girl of the door of the lounge, and my title was "Old is not cool," to say that they are not into vintage, and the people from the lounge didn't understand what I said, and they thought I was saying this girl is not cool, so they asked her to change her clothes immediately. So it was kind of embarrassing but very funny.
Anything that was memorable about the New York Fashion Week?
Yeah, actually, my New York Fashion Week was kind of very quiet because it was like February and people were not that fancy. I think I was kind of disappointed. Last Fashion Week in September were more interesting, more colorful, so yeah, this time was kind of quiet.
And are you going to ever make it to London Fashion Week?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking to go to do next season London Fashion Week. Maybe I can find more interesting things than in Paris and New York. I got my shoes in a vintage store in Stockholm.
And your trousers?
My trousers got them in a vintage store in Paris, in the suburbs. The very nice things, €1 trousers. The shirt is like a vintage from Paris. The raincoat is a gift, but I think it's like a vintage piece from Paris too. The hat is like a new thing I bought in East Village in New York. The bow tie is a gift from a friend of mine. I think she bought that in Berlin. And this thing, oh, it's hidden. It's like something I got like in, I don't know, in the show in New York. I don't remember what's the label.